I think that Jesus Christ is the source of healing. He is the answer. But I also think that saying that Jesus is the answer can sometimes hurt more than it actually helps. You know, I love psychology. I love studying the brain. I love studying emotions, healing, and all of it. And I also love Jesus Christ. I believe that he is the source of true healing. I recently had somebody come at me in the comments for teaching compassionate affirmations instead of just saying Jesus Christ. And it got me thinking, because while Jesus is the answer in the ultimate sense, just saying the phrase, Jesus is the answer, to somebody who's been through something traumatic, it isn't always helpful. I wish that it was. I wish that there was no need for therapy or counseling or coaching or whatever, and that anybody who is going through a trauma could just go to their pastor, go to their bishop, and they could say, oh, Jesus is the answer, and everything traumatic would just go away. It's not that simple, and it's not always that helpful. In fact, I think it can kind of make people feel more alone. Think about it. If somebody sits down with me in my coaching practice and they tell me about a traumatic experience that they've been through, and I just hit them with, well, Jesus is the answer. How do you think that that makes them feel? Probably unheard, maybe dismissed, right? If you're like, hey, I was just abused. Hey, I was assaulted. Jesus is the answer. I think they probably will feel dismissed. Probably even more confused about their own faith. Because let's be real, when somebody's gone through something horrible, they're already having a hard time wondering why, if Jesus is the answer, why did this happen to me? Why didn't he stop it? So if we just throw out the phrase that Jesus is the answer without sitting with them in their pain, then we're not pointing them to Jesus. We're just kind of making him feel distant, like an arbitrary test question answer. Here's the other thing. Jesus never did that to people. When he healed people, he didn't just go up to people and say, I'm the answer. He did say, I am the light, I am the way, and I believe that he is. But he didn't just tell people, I'm the answer, now go on your way. No, he met people where they were at. He listened. He wept with them. He acknowledged their pain before he brought healing. So why would we as Christians ignore that step? That seems kind of crucial. Why would we make healing sound like a quick fix spiritual catchphrase instead of the deep personal process that healing actually is? And this is where I think psychology and faith actually go hand in hand, because God gave us minds that seek understanding. He gave us science. He gave us therapy. Just like he gave us medicine to heal the body, he gave us tools to heal the spirit and the mind. Like if somebody breaks their leg, you don't just go up to him and say, broken leg. Yep, Jesus is the answer. Go on your way. You take that person to the hospital. You help them through the recovery process. But for whatever reason, we treat emotional pain so differently. Compassionate affirmations are not there to replace Jesus. Saying, I've been through something hard, but even though I've been through something hard, I choose to forgive myself. I choose to love and accept myself where I'm at. Compassionate affirmations don't replace Jesus. They point us to him. They make him feel real. When somebody's been through something painful, they need to feel safe enough to process it. They need to feel heard before they can truly heal. Saying that Christ is the answer is true, but it's not helpful if it's used as a way to shut down deeper conversation. Healing isn't about throwing around the right words. It's about walking with people through their pain and helping them connect to Jesus in a way that actually feels safe and real. So if we want to lead people towards Christ, maybe the best thing that we can do is start listening by showing up with empathy, by trying to understand where people are at, by being the kind of person who reminds them through our love and patience who Jesus really is. And maybe I'm just totally overreacting, but I think this is a really, really important point, that Christ is the source of all healing, but just telling people that doesn't teach them how to use Christ to heal. But what do you think? Have you ever felt dismissed by overly simplistic Christian advice? I'm down to talk in the comments. These are just some thoughts. This was kind of a ramble, but I love you, and I hope you have a great day.